Hello everyone, Fifi and Sam here for another Community Matters interview, and as promised we have got the lovely ladies Lisa and Katherine from the PHA, People's Health Alliance, to fill us in on all the news, what's happening with them, what's coming up. So hey ladies, how are you doing?
Hi, all good, all good. Thank you for having us along.
Pleasure.
See you after the summer.
Yeah, likewise. So busy, I would imagine.
Crazy
busy. It's
no,
been
we're both really lazy, actually, let's face it. We don't do anything really. No, it's manic. It is crazy at the moment, but it's how we like it, and there's a lot to get done in a short space of time. So
yeah, so what are you currently, what's happening with the PHA in general? You got news on?
Yeah, what's been going on? We had a quiet summer, so that's now picked straight back up as kids have gone back to school. We now have over 100 hubs, but what we're trying to do is consolidate some of those that are quite nearby, so that we can combine resources, skills, experience, and that seems to be working quite well. We have 26 countries now that we're talking to.
Wow, that is a big step up from when we last spoke.
I've got to say this. I love saying this when I talk about the countries. You know, that's like 6 continents. The only one I've not got is Antarctica. I don't think I'm going to get that anytime soon. But yeah, the response is amazing, and you know, people are really excited all around the globe to get involved in this. And when Katherine talks about the Food and Farming Alliance, they're going to be even more excited. I mean, this will really drive things forward, I think, with the hubs. So international's great, going well. We've got I'm just in the process of finalizing a crowdfunding pitch, and we always go big. We're going big or going home, and it's our way. So we are literally throwing every little thing and big thing that we could wish for the future, for our new way. And we've got lots of great stuff in there. We've got cottage hospitals, we've got blood bank, we've got independent labs, some really good stuff, but that's what's going to get us next level. We've also got an exciting project to help transition NHS staff, so new ways of doing things, education. Part of the plans are for an online academy. Lots of really great stuff coming up. The apothecary is going to launch on our website probably in the next month or so. We'll have well-researched natural products available for people. This will help us to get the best prices to the customer, as well as creating a social care pot to help those that are not as fortunate financially and who are struggling. So yeah, there's loads going on. We've just about tied up our constitution, having spent months going around the houses. How do we structure this thing? And it's a really difficult thing, because we want to stay out of the system, obviously, and the system has been squeezing and tightening all loopholes. So it's taken us a long time to get there. We're forming an unincorporated association, and yeah, I'm really glad that's going off the desk. That's been such a headache. It's unbelievable. Power of the Pound is the only other one that I really wanted to talk about, because the appeal, as you know, is to try and get 1 million people donating £1 a month, something that we feel is affordable for most, but it's the sense of urgency that we all are now feeling. And the idea behind the Power of the Pound is that monies raised will in part go to providing emergency equipment for the hubs, and also emergency first aid training, which I think we're going to need over the coming months, as you know, the full extent of the vaccine injuries becomes apparent, and the collapse of the NHS and the ambulance service peaks. So power the pound, again, if we could just encourage everybody to support, we really need this. We need to help our hubs be ready to sustain life at a community level. And I really can't, put enough emphasis behind that. It's something we really need. So that was just a brief update on PHA. There's loads more on my list, but
Good
those are probably
Good
the
stuff.
exciting nuggets.
Yeah.
Thank you very
It's
much.
incredible what you guys
Amazing growth, and just
Phenomenal.
the evolution of things. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've actually developed and recently published for our hubs, and we'll get it out there a bit further, but a resource library now. So it's taken the blueprint and really developed on that to much more detail, much more support. There's a lot of documentation now available within the acute care side, how hubs approach that, what they need to consider, what their options. So that documentation is now available for the hubs. And again, it'll all go up on our website, but we're in phase 2 of our website development, so it's coming. It's just not there yet. Again, reminding everyone, this is volunteer led. People have got jobs and families, and we've got to be, managing expectations reasonably. But that's why we ask everybody to get involved. Go and do what you can, because if a small skeleton crew try to constantly do it all, it's just not going to move as quickly as we need it to. And actually, we're entering autumn winter now. There isn't time to wait. There isn't time to faff about. The time to get out there and to do it is now. So we actively encourage everybody to go and help. It doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what your role is in, your job. You will have a part to play. You can help make this happen. So the sooner other people come and get involved, or get involved with the Power of the Pound campaign, the quicker we can make the end results appear. So please do get involved on the PHA for sure.
Yeah, we will share all the links, obviously, for people to go to and get involved. So you've got other stuff up your sleeves, I believe, Katherine. bulging sleeves.
Okay, so I think a lot of people know, I don't know if it needs a huge amount of explanation, but our current food supply, production supply is wobbling somewhat. Farmers are under the cosh in terms of costs, and numerous ones at that, and labour. Plus, what we've seen happen over the last 20-30 years is a lot of farms have been moved down to a sort of monocrop, monoproduct culture, which is A, pretty dangerous for them because it really limits their routes to market, B, very controllable by big ag, and C, not really productive or helpful for people within the community. We're going to turn that upside down, but we're coming in with a 3-pronged attack for the People's Food and Farming Alliance, which launches on the 24th of this month.
You've got a Zoom going out as well, haven't you? A live Zoom everyone can get involved in.
Absolutely. That's next week. I'll get the details of that in a minute. But yes, the first public Zoom, if you like, is coming next week. What we're doing is breaking it down to a 3-pronged attack, if you like. So you've got your grow your own section, where we can very much advise, support, facilitate for those who grow at home. And it doesn't matter if you're in a flat or an apartment, you can grow herbs, nutritious herbs on your windowsill to make into a tea, really help to, build your immunity for this coming autumn winter. There's a lot that people can do. And we've looked at it from a very small space up to a larger garden point of view. The next level of that, which I'll come back to in a bit more detail in a minute, is the community growing groups. Relatively self-explanatory, but we go into detail on the how, what, where, whys of that, and even introducing the livestock and the poultry into the conversation, which a lot of people don't necessarily think about. And the final bit, which is going to be a real game changer, is to work with the farmers and the large scale producers. So we've looked at the ultimate goal, and it's going to take a while. People have to be realistic about the transition here, but is to involve as many farmers as we possibly can into building and diversifying their practices so that they've got more routes to market. They grow different crops and have different animals, and there are a number of advantages to that for the farmer. It'd be more profitable and, like I say, more route to market, but it helps the consumer at the other end to have a plethora of different produce available to them that's going to help build their health. It's going to be nice, organic, natural produce, and it's going to save them going to the supermarket. And also we can wipe out the packaging. We can wipe out a number of the different areas that can cause pollution and so forth. So and we heal the soil. We heal the soil at the same time. So that's massive. We've got an accreditation. We're building our own accreditation scheme for it, support farmers through that transition, and people at the other end, consumers, can understand what that signifies, because what the supermarkets or the Organic Association and so forth do at the moment is very, very costly, very led with bureaucracy, and it's actually not really a huge advantage to farmers or consumers. You know, it's them that gain from it. So but what I thought might be really interesting for your members is the community growing group and what that's going to look like. So we're going to be giving advice on how to establish a group, how to look for land, what do you do on that land. A lot of it will cross section with the grow your own in terms of the technicalities behind it. But what I think people need to sort of take on board and digest is the fact that there are going to be probably many in your community where the food prices are rising at dramatic rates at the moment, who are going to struggle to buy nutritional food to fill their family up and so forth. And actually, we have a moral responsibility to come together to find those solutions. Don't look to the big guys to do it. They're not going to. We know
They're
that
not
now.
interested, no.
They're not interested. It's down to us. And it's, you know, you need to think about, actually, do we have any land around here we can get our hands on? Don't feel shy about going to the council. That's public land. Go to the council, demand it. You know, if you need to, demand it and say, right, guys, if you're not doing anything with this, we're going to grow food on there, because we need to ensure our community is fed. It is as simple as that. We're introducing ways that those community growing groups can work alongside a farmer, their local farmer, and other community groups in your region. So for example, if you're in a position to grow some crops, why not speak to other people in your region, other community growing groups, connect with them, find out what they're growing, grow something different. You can do swapsies, you know, you can exchange produce. If there's a glut, do an exchange or just share it out. We want the community growing groups to lead the way on getting the milk straight from the farmer and finding those in the community to make the butter, make the cheese, you know, do all those things that actually, you know, if we want to take the supermarkets out of the situation, and we know these guys monopolize our food supply, we know they dictate to farmers and growers exactly how they should conduct themselves, and none of it's conducive to good soil, animal health, human health. None of it works. So we want to bring that back. We've got lots of phases coming in, and we've got videos in the future coming in on how to cook from scratch in a really economic and sensible manner for busy parents, for example, and so forth, because, you know, the supermarkets bring convenience, but sadly that convenience doesn't support health. So we need to find ways to ensure that happens. So there's masses coming. The blueprint's still being established now, as is the website. We say we're launching on the 24th. You know, we will be. Don't know what it will look like, but with like everything we do, it isn't a finished product. We aren't going to be all the way there. We can't. We're a people-led organic movement. We grow as we go, and as long as people understand and have sensible expectations, we're going to be bringing stuff to the table quite swiftly. But it is, again, it's about all of us getting involved. It's about all of us finding our role and getting out there and doing it. Every single one of us that is awake wants to walk away from the clutches of those that currently hold the power. This is one of the ways we do that. How do they get to us? Through our health, through our food. Hey, let's take away their negotiation sticks. Let's take away the way they can control us. Let's remove that possibility. It's like the farmers side of things. We're going to be working very closely and connecting with homeopathic vets, natural vets, and so, because DEFRA will come in and control that vet situation so that farmers are screwed. Let's take that away. In terms of the feed merchants, these guys are really powerful. So what we do is we find solutions that we can provide for solutions for farmers with like mobile feed mixers or mobile butcheries, so forth, so they can eradicate the need for that part of the industry. Which could at some point or another be used as a control mechanism. So don't just think you growing a bit of broccoli or a bit of carrots isn't going to have an impact on the world, because it flipping well is. It's all going to play its role, you know, it's all a part of it. And we're just going to do everything we can to make sure that support network is out there, and we bring the education, we bring the support.
Brilliant. I'm interested actually, Katherine, like how's the receptivity from farmers been so far? Because obviously, like you said, there you go, great minds. Well, they're so under the cosh, and they're being kind of blackmailed, really strong-armed into just giving up entirely. And a lot of us have been talking about, you know, how do you cut out the middleman and go straight to the farmers? It seems like a logical next step. So how's that kind of playing out so far?
So to start with, it's been quite difficult getting farmers involved, because when we kicked off, we decided to kick all those bits off during harvesting, which probably wasn't the wisest move. But you know, they're busy guys. But over the last week or two, I've actually seen a lot more interest suddenly coming through as that part starting to end on farming. So it is coming along. we're able to connect now with a couple of farmers like Julian Rose from the Hardwick Alliance, who's been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
He makes his money very nicely, thank you very much, but he provides for his community. He meets with his community once or twice a year in the village hall, and they discuss about what they want him to grow, and they discuss about what they want him to rear, and he will do it to order for that community. So to get to that stage is really, really important. So what we've suggested is, because a lot of farmers, they don't want 50 people traipsing down the track going, hi, we want to come and help you, can we come and plough your field or whatever. Farmers aren't going to appreciate that. So what we've suggested in the blueprint, and we support, is maybe the local community providing, if you like, a couple of ambassadors, maybe who got a bit of a good understanding or basic understanding even of the agricultural process, who can act as that conduit, as that form of communication between the farmer and the community. Some farmers are going to want to come out and speak to the community, some are not. So we have to work with that farmer. You know, a lot of these guys, they're not used to going out and socializing massively every day. You know, they're there on the farm, they're working, they're connected with the animals or with nature or whatever it might be. So it's always nice to have representatives or ambassadors who can work with the farmer and connect with the community to see where the gaps are for the farmer and how they can support. For a lot of the hawk guys, it might be a case of going and doing picking, just going and picking the fruit, because they haven't got the teams to do it. They can't afford the personnel, the labor anymore. So those people go and earn themselves some nice bit of fruit and at the same time help that farmer out by getting the produce in. There are a number of different ways that we can support that, and a lot of that we're trying to support through the blueprint. But in the fullness of time, there's going to be more and more schemes come forward that they're going to help on this. But we want the farmers to get involved. I had someone messaged me this morning. They saw my interview yesterday with Pam Gregory, a lady, they're a pig farmer. They were saying, look, actually, we've got a contract with Waitrose. We're really happy with our contract. It all goes really, really well. But they see the problems. They see what's coming. They understand. So now I'm going to be having conversations with her next week. She's like, we want to support our community. What can we do? How can we help? And it'll be like, do you have any excess land they can utilize? Could you diversify your farming to include crops with that? Is there something you can do to support your local community in another way? And it's finding that space, and it's not going to look the same for everyone. But we are going to start doing some fundraising, hopefully in the next day or two. We'll put our crowdfunding out for this, because what we'd love to have are regional ambassadors from the communities who can come forward and assist in the accreditation. They can assist in the communication and supporting farmers and making the transitions that need to happen, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight, but we start now. The sooner we start, the sooner we're there, you know. And the models that we're building and the business models that we're providing information on and so forth can be adopted really quickly.
Yeah,
I think it's brilliant is that these blueprints for the health hubs and for the food and farming is so important, because I think there are so many people that sort of like they want to do something, but you look at both areas and there is just so many kind of options and so many different, and you're just like, I don't even know where to start. So I think to have these, you know, things and ideas that you can then, you know, run with is brilliant.
But that's the beauty of the stand in the park groups, because you've already got an established group there. You know, the stand in the park groups, you've already got an established group of people who can start talking about this, you know. Okay, where do we know some land locally that we can go and get planting on or stick some chickens on? You know, what can we do? What farmers have we got locally? Which one of us could actually start to try and communicate with these farmers and reach out? And, you know, we will be pulling materials together as well that people can print off and share and so forth. So stand in the park groups, you know, they're a step ahead of everyone else. They've already got off the starting block because they've come together. That's the first thing. They've come together, and they can look at supporting each other and grow your own aspect, but they can always support each other in the community growing groups as well. So there's nothing to stop people getting on with it. It's just knowing where to start. But the first thing, find your gang, find your group. Second thing, start thinking about land. You know, can you go to the council and ask for it? Do you know a local farmer or landowner who could let you have a field? What have you got available to you? Then you look at what tools you've got. Then you look about what do we want to grow, for what people are going to eat? What do we need to grow to support our community? And you take it step by step. And like I say with everything, do what you can with what you've got to the best of your ability, because right now that's all we can do. But doing something is better than doing nothing.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is just get started. And it's amazing how, you know, you think, my God, I could never, you know, maybe like a year ago, the idea of trying to communicate with a farmer or the council about land, like what? But now and the more you do, the easier it becomes, and it leads on to the next thing, and all the little creases get ironed out, and you're learning as you go. And this is how we do build this new world.
More people come in because they see what you're doing. and it
exactly, and it's
you,
not
and
as
they're happy to
difficult.
join in.
Yeah,
It's then
it's not as
starting off on your
difficult
own.
as it looks. Once you've actually actually got over that little hurdle of, oh, I've never done that, you realise, I mean, most of us are, you know, a million miles away from where we were a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Because you know, you could never have imagined, you know, the things that we've been out there doing and the people that we've been meeting.
Do you know, and for that I'm grateful.
Yeah,
it's hard to
Yeah,
say, isn't it? But you know, had this not happened, you wouldn't be where you are at today. You know.
100%.
And I said this in a meeting the other night, and I really do stand by it. It's something that someone said to me, and I've always said it to my kids: feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, don't let the fear stop you. Don't, you know, doing new things is always scary. Like when I first started doing interviews, I used to contact Lisa and go, oh my God, I'm sweating. I think I'm going to vomit, you know, all that sort of thing. And now I go into them a lot more calmly because I've done it. And like you said, once you've done it a few times, these things actually are far less daunting. And once you've made those connections as well with the council, or you found somebody with a soft spot, you can lean into that, you know, you can utilize that to your advantage. So there's lots of different things to overcome.
You know, I've been surprised throughout the PHA journey so far how many people are actually on your wavelength and have been wanting this to happen and are more than happy to jump on board. You know, we just have to spread the word, and people will come. They will. They're desperate for this.
They are. It's what's been happening, and really you inspire others by what you're doing, not what you're saying, but your actual actions. And also, we're not on our own in this. That's the thing. Now we have found our tribes, we are kind of established with groups and things. It's a whole different thing from being absolutely isolated in fear, and you can't even think straight when you're in that state to even know what the first step would be. But now, you know, we're a couple of years down the line or even more, and we've got these blueprints, we've got all these different projects, so many different things going on. So anybody just kind of getting going or getting involved with things, you've got so much there to support you and get you started. It's there's never been a kind of easier time than now, and it is like now is the time.
And I think your Stand in the Park crews, they need to be finding their local health hub crews. Those guys need to be talking. You guys need to be talking together because you're all of the same mindset. You're all going in the same direction. So lean into each other. You're going to have a cross section of experience, knowledge, resources that you can share, that you can support each other with. And we'd love the idea of the health hubs being connected to those local community groups so that we can grow medicinal herbs together. We can grow things that are going to help people that are poorly in the community. You know, it doesn't have to be a one-trick pony. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Actually, for those that come into you, maybe they come into the health hub, they've got some mental well-being issues, some emotional concerns. Get them involved with the community gardening group if they're up for it, because actually working amongst nature, that fresh air, that solidarity, what an environment to help people heal. So, and we know that nature is so healing. It is so healing. So get together, you know, and any other groups out there, you know, there might be a UK citizens group or another, you know, group, peacekeepers or whatever. Come together, find your tribe in your community, and maybe once a month come together at the same time so you can share ideas, you can support each other, you can find the resources together. You know, it's now time. You need to come together because we're entering autumn, winter. Things aren't going to suddenly get easier. So if there's ever a time for getting off your butt and doing it, it's now.
And involve the children. The children need to learn these skills. This is what they should be learning: how to grow food,
definitely,
how to grow herbs, how to keep a healthy body and maintain a healthy mind. All of these things we need to be teaching our
kids out with the poultry. There is nothing more exciting for them to go and find eggs in the hen coop. Get the kids out involved with the poultry as well and the livestock. I've lived on farms. I've seen little kids in wellies, 5-6-year-old, leading the cows out back into the field and stuff. You know, these kids can do it. They can do it. They just need to be shown the way. And they love it. I mean, what a healthy way.
I've found with my kids that actually they really love the idea that we're learning together.
Yeah.
You know, with a lot of, you know, particularly, you know, with the food growing and stuff, like I've never done anything like that before. I've really got no idea what I'm doing. So, you know, I sit there with my daughter and we'll be watching YouTube videos about the life cycle of these plants and how you're, you know, how to kind of get the best out of them and all that kind of thing. And she seems to really love that idea that we're actually both kind of learning together.
Yeah.
And you're doing stuff together.
Yeah.
So much of that has been lost in family life, hasn't it?
completely.
You know, my children are now 16 and 18 and 19, you know, and doing more of their own thing. But just while they were at school, it's chaotic, isn't it? And all you're doing is lurching from one week to the next and getting through. Whereas this gives you something to do together. It's a great project. And it's just those life skills that they need that are, you know, that are so important to carry on and pass on. And encourage, because we're going to need them once we come out the other side of this. We're going to need all those skills.
We were talking earlier, and there does seem to be, you know, this kind of, even within our community, this mass kind of like, well, we've got time. That actually, you know, there's a lot of people that don't kind of quite see the urgency of all this, that actually how quickly things are progressing now and how quickly we may well be seeing, you know, the systems around us actually just collapsing. And that actually, you know, anything that we can be doing right now to kind of insulate us from, you know, the massive impact that that's going to have is going to be doing us all a favor. And as well, you know, when you are taking those steps, that actually there is still a lot of fear about, you know, what's this all going to look like? What's going to happen when it collapses? What am I going to do? Once you start taking those steps, and even if they're little things that you're kind of doing to protect yourself and your community, it kind of keeps that fear at bay.
Empowers you.
That, proactive empowerment, I think is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, taking control of your own life is empowering. It's scary at first because we spent many years relying on the system to prop us up. But actually, stepping into your own power is just wonderful and freeing and uplifting. You can feel so much more brave.
But yes, all of that too.
I think once you've done it, the fear's gone.
Yeah.
The fear is gone.
And we're not doing it alone.
I
don't know, mine comes in waves.
You're not
You've
alone.
got other people doing the same thing.
Exactly.
We're in it together.
It transforms it completely. So it doesn't have to be that, oh my God, you know, when we're saying that, you know, we're in a bit of an urgent situation, that's not to frighten people and make them go into panic mode, but just, you know, we've got it all here. Be prepared. And just doing anything.
Forearmed, I always say so.
Exactly. And it is really, like you say, it is anything that's empowering is really energizing and actually fun, because it's just fills you up when you're doing something for yourself, for your community, growing your own food. I mean, people see me and Sam like in raptures about, oh my God, the cucumber's grown, you know, and that's just but it does, you get so excited. And when you're actually contributing consciously, instead of this passive state where, you know, the system is supplying you with, it's this kind of dead energy, really. There's nothing really there, but this spark will get you more and more excited about being involved. And of course, that's the ripple effect. That's what spreads, and more people will be getting involved, and they will out of necessity as well. You know,
it's gonna come. Push will come to shove. You can start it now and kind of build it swiftly, in a sensible manner, or you can wait until the proverbial hits the fan and you have no choice, and you're going to be going hell for leather, and
you're
guess
on the
what?
back foot.
You haven't already got something in the ground, because things don't grow overnight. Get it in the ground now. Let's get ready. Let's just build what we can now, get it all supported, and then when the proverbial does hit the fan, you're not lost. You're not struggling. You've got food, you've got heat, you've got something over your roof over your head, you've got food, you've got health support. Those are the key things we need to survive. So let's make it easy for ourselves and do it now.
That's it. Perfect.
And I do think the you know, with the food and the health, it's things that very much cross over throughout
absolutely.
You know, the entirety of society. I don't think there's, even if they don't see the bigger picture, people can see that actually our health service is not fit for purpose, and they can see on the supermarket shelves, you go in, the food is disappearing. They
Yeah.
can see that the issues are there. And I think, it is a great way to actually reach out to people beyond the freedom community, beyond, where the little kind of, echo chambers that we've got. It's a very good way to kind of bring other people in. I've found locally, I've been talking to my neighbours over the summer holidays when the kids have been out playing, and talking to them about doing community growing. We've got some little patches of, like they're squares that are just overtaken with weeds now. And I was, been talking about, can we just get in there, rip them all out, plant some, blackberry bushes, apple trees, that kind of stuff. And then the kids are out playing, they can just, go and grab themselves an apple, and they've got a nice, snack and that kind of thing. And actually, there's a lot of people that were really kind of, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And I think it will be a great way to kind of unify everybody.
Yeah.
But the time is coming when we won't have much choice. So I say, let's do it while it's still our choice. Let's do it how in our, our vision, how we all want it to be. And the sooner we get on with it, the sooner we're done. I mean, it is that simple. And if everyone comes together, it's not even a big deal. It's not like it's a huge job, because we're all going to carry the weight of it and share that equally. And if nothing else, it's fun. It's just fun, and it's so good for the soul, being out amongst nature, getting your toes in the soil and just having that peace and harmony. It's just the most healing thing.
And the more of us doing it, the harder it is to stamp us down.
Oh
yes.
Absolutely.
Strength in numbers. So let's pop up on those little patches of grass everywhere, all around the country, and start growing things.
We've actually done a little section in the blueprint on guerrilla gardening.
Oh,
I'm all for some guerrilla gardening, guys. There's seed bombs, got roundabouts. Get out there, seed bomb everywhere. Go and do a bit of guerrilla gardening. Just stay away from roadsides because of fumes and stuff, but go and do some guerrilla gardening, especially if it's public land and you're not being destructive in any way. Go and grow food. Just go and do it. And it's and if you're not one who appreciates authority, then it's always nice to feel a little bit rebellious.
It depends whose authority, doesn't it? I mean, you either recognise it or you don't. I mean,
I've never been good with it, let's be honest.
No,
but
funny that.
24th September, People's Food and Farming Alliance is coming at you. The website will be ready, the blueprint will be ready, and there'll be a lot more information. That always bear in mind, this is phase 1. We'll be swiftly moving into phase 2. There's a lot more to come, and that'll be clearly laid out on the website as to what is left to come yet. It's really exciting, but I would just encourage everybody, keep an eye out, get involved, and again, go and find it. Do it this Sunday, stand in the park this Sunday, talk about the People's Food and Farming Alliance and what it means to you as a community, what you can do in your community. Use that as your topic, get talking, and see how everyone else feels about it.
Great.
Perfect advice and a perfect way to end, I think.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. And I think on behalf of everyone, thank you for all the resources that you're putting together for all of us to kind of move forward in our own way with. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very much appreciated.
Thank you, ladies.
We will speak to you again very soon.
Good luck with the launch.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll keep you posted, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.